You picked up your phone this morning before you were fully awake, before you spoke to another human, before you even remembered where you were. Your eyes were barely open, and your thumb was already moving. You didn't decide to do that. Something else did. This is not a story about addiction. It's not a lecture about screen time. What you're about to discover is far older, far stranger, and it explains something about your brain that no app notification ever will. Your phone is not the problem. Your phone is just the newest thing to exploit a system that has been running inside your skull for 200,000 years. Let's go back. Picture a flat, open savanna. The sky is huge. The grass is tall. You are smaller, slower. You have no claws, no venom, no real speed. What you have is a brain that never stops scanning. Something moves in the grass to your left. Your head snaps toward it. You don't think about turning. You just turn. That snap, that involuntary redirect of your attention, is called the orienting response. Identified in 1927 by Ivan Pavlov, it fires the moment anything in your environment changes. A new sound, a flicker of movement, a shift in light. Your body halts and reorients instantly. Your ancestors who had a faster orienting response lived longer. The ones whose attention wandered at the wrong moment didn't pass on their genes. Over hundreds of thousands of years, your brain was carved into a hypervigilant, stimulus-hungry machine. And that machine never got the memo that you're no longer on the savannah. Every time your phone lights up, your orienting response fires. Every buzz, every notification badge, every red dot on an app icon. Your ancient brain registers each one as a signal. Something changed. Something is new. You must look. Your brain doesn't just notice novelty. It rewards you for chasing it. Deep inside your skull lives a structure called the nucleus accumbens. It runs on dopamine, a chemical that, contrary to popular belief, is not about pleasure. Dopamine researcher Kent Berridge at the University of Michigan found that dopamine is about wanting, about anticipation, about the electric feeling of maybe. Your brain releases dopamine not when you get the reward. It releases it when you think you might be about to. This is the engine behind every slot machine ever built. That uncertainty, that gap between action and outcome, is where dopamine lives. It keeps you pulling the lever. It keeps you scrolling. Sean Parker, one of Facebook's earliest investors, said in 2017 the platform was built to exploit a vulnerability in human psychology. His words, a vulnerability. The answer the designers landed on was variable reward. Sometimes you open Instagram and there's nothing. Sometimes there are 17 notifications. You never know which. And that unpredictability is precisely what makes your dopamine system go haywire. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. It's not just the notifications. It's the fear of missing one. In 2013, Przybylski and Weinstein introduced a term that has since colonized the cultural vocabulary, FoMO, fear of missing out. People with higher FoMO checked their phones more often and reported lower mood, lower life satisfaction, and weaker social connection. But FoMO is not a modern invention. It is the modern name for an ancient survival mechanism. Your ancestors lived in groups of 50 to 150 people. Being cut off from the group meant death. Your brain evolved to monitor social standing obsessively, to track who was talking to whom, what information was circulating that you might not have. The burning need to check your phone is not weakness. It is your social monitoring system doing exactly what it was built to do. It just doesn't know the group chat is not the tribe. Your brain cannot tell the difference. Every time you reach for your phone to escape boredom, you are shutting something important down. Psychologist Mary Helen Immordino-Yang at the University of Southern California found that the brain's resting state system, the default mode network, is not idle when nothing is demanding your attention. It is processing memory, building identity, generating creative insight. That is where your deepest thinking lives. And you are filling every one of those spaces with a scroll. You are an animal built for a world that no longer exists, running ancient software on a planet that changes faster than evolution can follow. The savannah didn't have an algorithm. The tribe didn't have a notification badge. So tonight, when your phone lights up on the nightstand and your hand moves before your mind even registers what's happening, know what that is? That is 200,000 years of survival instinct pointing at a glass rectangle. That is your brain doing its job in a world it was never built for.